understand the example where, as previously given, the different loading time, weighing time, and traveling time, and we will be using them as and when needed. And the initial state of the system at clock time 0, dt1 is getting at the scaler, getting weighed. dt2 and dt3 are at the loaders, that is two loaders are there, and dt4, dt5, dt6 are waiting in the loading queue. So as needed, first column will be representing the clock time, and next subsequent columns will be representing the system state, and next subsequent columns will be representing the list of the waiting queue. Next column will be the future event list, and we will be having at the end the cumulative statistics. Here we are checking the utilization of loader and utilization of the scaling machine. So as per to the system states, we are having 4 informations to be taken. One will be with respect to the waiting queue of loader, another with respect to the loader at the time t, and WQT represents the waiting queue at the weighing machine, and WT will be represented that weighing machine is busy or idle. So L of t will be either 0 or 1 or 2. W of t will be either 0 or 1. We know what is these values are explaining about. At clock 0, as the initial state is being explained, 5 of the trucks are at loader, 1 of the truck is getting weighed. So based on that description only, we are writing here 2 trucks are at the loader getting loaded, therefore L of t will be 2, and LQ of t will be, and LQ of t will be 3, as 3 trucks are waiting. 1 of the truck is getting weighed, therefore no one is waiting in the queue of weighing machine and getting weighed, therefore W of t is 1. So as per to the list, dt4, dt5, dt6 will be waiting in the loader queue. dt2, dt3 are getting loaded, and dt1 is getting weighed at the scaling machine. And the future event list will be having all those notices related to future events. And we told in this list, we are going to have all the imminent events. So these imminent events are going to be in the chronological order. EL, 5, dt3 is representing the loading of dt3 will be ending at 5. So we are using first 2 values of loading, where 10 will be given to the dump truck dt2 and 5 will be given to dump truck dt3. Weighing, 1 of the dump truck is getting weighed, therefore dt1 will be completing its weighing process after 12 clock time. Therefore we are setting these values here. So EL, 5, dt3, reason is 5 is smaller than 10, therefore we are setting them in a chronological order. So EL, 5, dt3 explaining that the loading will finish after 5 clock times for dt3. Loading will finish for dt2 after 10 clock times, and weighing will be finished for the dt1 after 12 clock times. Until clock time 0, loader was idle and scaling machine was idle, therefore it is 0 and 0. Next imminent event is EL, comma 5 comma dt3. Therefore, we are going to advance our clock to 5, and we are going to remove that event notice from the future event list. Because this future event notice is been removed, we are going to schedule another event here with respect to future, and that particular event will be el comma 5 plus 5 comma dt4. As we have told, dt4 is there at the first place in the queue, therefore it will be getting the loader. That's the reason your L of t is 2, as one of the loader has freed itself by ending the loading of dt3. Therefore, dt4 will be going for it. Therefore, based on that, your LQT will be decrementing. As we have told, arrival event, based on the arrival event, we are going to check whether the server is free or not. If it is free, then the Q value, that is LQT, will be decremented. So here we have decremented the value, and WQT will be 1. Reason is the weighing machine has not completed its task with previous dump truck. Therefore, the current dump truck has to wait for its turn. That's the reason DT3 has gone into the waiting queue of weighing machine, and DT5, DT6 are in the loader queue. And based on this, again we are setting the events in a chronological order. Therefore, EL comma 10 comma DT2, EL comma 5 plus 5 comma DT4, which is going to be again EL comma 10 comma DT4, and EW comma 12 comma DT1, representing DT1's work is going to complete after 12 clock times. This 5 plus 5 is explaining, this 5 is your clock time, and the next 5 is given to DT4 as the value. So the third dump truck, that is DT4, will be assigned with loading time as 5. So from clock time 5, the next 5, after next 5 minutes or 5 clock times, the loading of DT4 will end. That's the reason the loading of DT4 will be ending at clock time 10. Till now, how much time the loaders were busy? Loader time were busy up to the clock time 10. Why 10? Because 5 minutes is with respect to loader 1 and 5 minutes with respect to the loader 2. Therefore, we have to add both the times, which is going to give us the utilization of both the loaders as 10 minutes. BS is representing how much time the scaling machine was busy or weighing machine was busy, which is going to be up to clock time 5. Only one scaling machine is there, therefore it's going to be 5. Next, because EL comma 10 comma DT2 is the next imminent event, so advancing the clock to 10, removing that notice from the future event list, and when we are advancing the clock time of with respect to the end of the loading time, you are going to decrement LQT by 1, and L of t will remain the same. Because DT2 has completed its loading, it has to go for weighing as per to our system's definition, but our weighing machine is not free. That's the reason it has to wait in the queue. So WQT is going to be 2. It has been incremented because your WT is not 0. Your WQT has to get incremented. If WT was 1, your WQT is incremented. These two statements are similar to each other. Then WT is still remaining 1, and because you have decremented LQT, you are removing DT5 from the queue and it is going for loading. And you have incremented WQT. So based on the future event notice of previous iteration, DT2 has to go into the queue of weighing machine. That's the reason DT2 is next to DT3. Next, you have included the DT5 has gone for loading. Therefore, you have to include the new notice. You have to include the new notice, which is going to be EL comma 10 comma 10 10 plus 10 comma DT5, which is given from this place. This is the clock time given for DT5 to complete its loading service. Till clock time 10, both the loaders were busy as L of t is 2 only. Therefore, you have to go for 10 plus 10, that is 20, is going to be the total time the loaders were busy. Bs is representing the scaling time busy time. Therefore, it's going to be 10 only because we are having only one weighing machine. Next imminent event is EL comma 10 comma DT4. Therefore, the clock remains at 10 and we are going to decrement LQT by 1 as one of the loader has gone free. That's the reason L of t remains 2 and WQT will be incremented by 1 as the loader is releasing one of the dump truck. That dump truck has to wait in the queue of weighing machine, which is going to be incremented by 1. So it is being incremented to 3 and W of t is still remaining as 1. There will be no dump truck in the list of loader queue and we will be having 3 dump trucks in the queue of weighing machine as a weighing queue as DT3, DT2, DT4 on first come first serve basis. And the event notices are going to be having EW 12 comma DT1 explaining DT1's weighing process will be ending at 12 clock time and EL will be ending the loading at the loader with respect to DT5 at clock time 20. And a new notice related to DT6 has to be included, which is going to be end of loading with clock time 10 from clock time 10 up to next 15 minutes. Therefore, 10 plus 15 is going to be the clock time of completion of this notice. Until time 10, both the loaders were busy. Therefore, 10 plus 10, it's going to be 20. And the scaling, only one loader scaling is there. Therefore, it's going to be 10. In next iteration, the next imminent event is EW, 12, DT1. This notice has to be removed from future event list and advance the clock to 12 because no dump truck is in the queue of loader. So LQT will be still remaining 0 and L of t is going to be 2 because the notice is not related with respect to the loader. It is related with respect to weighing machine. That's the reason L of t will be 2. And because you have removed the notice of the end of weighing, WQT has to be decremented because one of the dump truck has to be going from Q to the scaling machine. So W of T remains as 1 and the list of weighing Q will be removed with the DT3 and DT2, DT4 are still waiting in the sequence. And EL comma 20 comma DT5 is already there, the next imminent event. And EW 12 plus 12 comma DT3 is the new notice which is included with respect to the weighing machine. And because DT1 has completed its weighing. It is going for traveling to get unloaded. So we have to create another notice related to arrival into the loading queue with respect to dump truck DT1. So we have to take the clock time 12, and the traveling time will be taken from here, and this traveling time we are assigning to DT1. Next, up to this time, both the loaders were busy. Therefore, 12 plus 12, it's going to be 24. And up to this time, the scaling is busy. So only one scaling machine is there. Therefore, it's going to be 12 only. Remember, two loaders are there. That's the reason we are using 12 plus 12. Only one scaling machine is there. That's the reason it is 12 only. Nextly, next imminent event is EL comma 20 comma DT5. This notice has to be removed from the list, and the clock has to be advanced to 20. Since no one is there in the queue, so LQT will be 0, and one of the dump truck is completing its loading. Therefore, decrement L of T by 1, so it becomes 1. So as we have told at the starting, L of T can be either 0, 1 or 2 based on the number of loaders, idle or busy. After completing its loading, the dump truck will go into the queue of weighing machine. That's the reason it's going to be incrementing WQT by 1. So that dump truck is DT5. So we have updated the list as well in the weighing queue as DT2, DT4, and DT5. And weighing machine is still busy. That's the reason W of T is 1. Now, nothing has to be updated. No new notice has to be included in the future event list, as we don't have any of the dump truck in the queue of loader. We have not changed anything related with respect to loader service and the weighing service. Therefore, we will be having only 3 notices, which is going to be end of weighing of DT3 at clock time 24, end of loading with respect to DT6 at clock time 25, and arrival of DT1 into the loader queue at 72 clock time. Until till this time, both the loaders were busy, so it's going to be 20 plus 20, it's 40, and scaler was busy, that's the reason it's 20. In next iteration, we have to take the next imminent event EW comma 24 comma 20 DT3 and remove that notice from future event list and advance the clock to 24 clock time, and LQT will still remain as 0. L of T is 1. As we are removing the notice with respect to end of weighing, no need to change the value of L of T, but decrement the value of WQ of T as the dump truck will go for weighing. So decrement of WQ of T by 1, it's going to become 2, and W of T will be 1. Therefore, your list of weighing queue is also updated by removing DT2, and DT4, DT5 are still waiting in the queue in the sequence. And because one of the dump truck has gone for weighing, you have to include a notice with respect to that dump truck, and one of the dump truck has gone for traveling, so you have to include a new notice related to this dump truck. So end of weighing will be completing after 12 clock times. Now current clock time is 24, and 12 is taken from this list, where 12 is provided to next machine as DT2, and ALQ is given to DT3, sorry, this 12 is given to DT2, and DT3 has gone for traveling. If after 100 clock time, it will come back. So total time it will take, it will come after 124. So 24 plus 100 comma DT3 is this notice value. And see here, what is the concern? One of the loader was busy up to 20th clock time, and another loader is still busy, therefore it's going to be 24. So it's going to be 20 plus 24. From here, the situation is different. So 20 plus 24, the value is 44. Total time the loaders were busy is 44. And the scaling machine is busy up to this clock time, therefore it's going to be remaining 24. Next imminent event is EL comma 25 comma DT6. So the loading will end with respect to the dump truck DT6. Therefore, remove that notice, advance the clock time to 25. As you are removing the notice with respect to end of loading, your L of T will become 0, because both the loaders are getting free now, and your WQT is going to be incremented by 1, as this truck will go into the queue of weighing machine, and WT is still remaining 1. So the truck which has gone for weighing and waiting in the queue is DT6. Therefore, you have updated the list as DT4, DT5, DT6. And no new thing has happened here. Therefore, your EW comma, that is weighing, will end with respect to DT2 at 36. Dump truck TT1 will be arriving into the loading queue at 72th minute, and 20 DT3 is going to be arriving into the loading queue at 124th minute. And cumulative statistics will be one of the loader was free up to 20th minute, busy up to 20th minute, and one of the loader is busy up to 25th minute. Therefore, it's going to be 20 plus 25. It's going to be 45. And the scaling machine was busy up to 25. Therefore, it's going to be 25. Next imminent event is EW comma 36 comma DT2. So remove this notice, update the clock time, advance the clock time to 36, and LQT is remaining 0, L of T is remaining 0. Still, since DT1 and DT3 are still traveling, so they have not come to the loader queue. And WQT will be decremented by 1 as the weighing of DT2 is completed. So DT4 will go into the weighing machine now. So WT is remaining 1. And DT5, DT6 are going to be still remaining in the queue. So end of weighing of DT4 will be ending after 60th clock minute, 16th clock minute. So this is given in this time. So 36 plus 6, 36 your clock time, and 16 is your service time for weighing given to the dump truck DT4. And the dump truck DT2 has gone for traveling. It will arrive at loader queue after 40th clock minute from now. So that's the reason it's going to be 36 plus 40. 36 is the current clock time. 40 is the traveling time. 100 was given to DT3. 40 is given to DT2 as a traveling time. So after 40 minutes, DT2 should come back to the loading queue. And the loader were busy up to 45 minutes only. So it's going to be the same, no updation. And scaling machine was busy till the clock time 36. That's the reason it is 36 only. Next imminent event, if you see in the chronological order, the DT4's weighing will be ending after 52 minutes. Therefore, taking out this notice of DT4, which was included newly, this is another situation where the new notice is included. That notice is only going to be removed as its chronological order. it is the first imminent event to occur. So advance the clock time to 52, and LQT is remaining 0, L of t is 0, and WQT is decremented by 1, and WT is 1. As DT5 is going for its weighing, DT6 is still remaining in the queue, and DT5 is going for weighing. Therefore, you are going to update the list by including its new thing, where 12 is being taken for weighing from this list, and the DT4 will be traveling by 40 minutes from now. So that is given from this place. Until time, only the loader was busy up to 45 minutes, and the scaling machine is still busy up to 52 minutes. So that's the reason it is 52. Next imminent event is the end of weighing of DT5, which is going to complete at 64. So eliminating this notice from the future event list, advancing the time to 64. LQT is still remaining 0 because no dump truck has come for loading. L of t will be remaining 0 because no dump truck is getting loaded. WQT is going to be decremented to 0 as only one of the truck was waiting for its weighing process, that is DT6, which is going for weighing. That's the reason WT is 1. And now if you see here, the notices are included in the same way, where your new notice with respect to DT5 is included as 64 plus the next traveling time of DT5 is 80. Therefore, 64 plus 80 will be the DT5's traveling time. After 80th minute, it's going to arrive into the loading queue. So up to 45 minutes, your loader was busy. Both the loaders were busy. After that, they are free. And the scaling machine is busy up to 64 minutes. So that's the reason it is 64. Next imminent event is arrival of the dump truck 1 into the loading queue at 72nd minute, which is going to be updated. So the clock is going to be advanced to 72 clock time, and because no one was there in the queue, DT1 will be going for loading, and you have to include the notice of DT1's end of loading in the event notice. And DT6 end of weighing will be same. Next imminent event is with respect to arrival of DT2 into the loading queue. So this event has to be included in this way, and your time must be advanced to that minute. Next particular things you have, next particular iterations, analyze the next iteration, all the students, and try to advance this example to next iteration. Thank you. If you like this video, then like, subscribe, and share the videos with all your friends, and hit the bell icon to get the next notification. Thank you.